Hi, I'm Liam Printer and I'm the author and creator of Captain Super Sleep. The idea first came about after our first daughter was born, and like most other parents in that situation, we were desperate for a full night's sleep. We knew the importance of sleep both for our own well-being and for that of our daughter. My wife is a doctor, and I had just completed my own doctorate in education focused on the power of storytelling for language acquisition and motivation. So we'd been reading a lot about the research about the words we use with babies for their development, for their language, and we were amazed to find that the words and sentences we use, the stories we tell to our children when they're as young as 3 or 6 months, these words have a huge impact on the way they see the world and their whole outlook on life. So with this in mind, I started talking to my daughter about the power of sleep right before bedtime. I'd tell her things like the more she slept, the more she could run the next day, the higher she could jump, the more puzzles she could solve. And with that, Captain Super Sleep was born. And before I knew it, I had the whole story written. Now, once I had the first book written, I needed an illustrator to bring my vision to life. I reached out to the art and design teachers in my school, and they put me in touch with Jade. Now, Jade was actually a student of mine in my Spanish class 10 years ago, but she had now completed a degree in illustration and character development.
Hi, I'm Jade Tan, and I'm the illustrator of the Captain Super Sleep book series. Character design has always been something I really enjoy doing. I always love making something from scratch, and I added the symbolism of the Z's. There's the moons and the stars you can see in the characters, so it's just a lot of playing around with the concepts, and that's something I really enjoy.
The first book is already written and illustrated, but we've got a whole series of books in mind that we want to bring out, and that's where your help comes in. We really hope you'll get behind this project. We want to do it as sustainably as possible and print it here in Europe. And there'll be even a set for language acquisition learners in school in various different languages. But for all of that to become a reality, we really need you to get behind this project, back it and support it. There really is so much potential for Captain Super Sleep. And with your help, we can get this book into more kids' hands and so they can read it at night right before bedtime, and they too can learn the superpower of a full night's sleep, turning them, your little ones, into their very own Captain Super Sleep. We really look forward to your support on this and making this a reality.